Ukraine's security service has claimed responsibility for the drone attack on a Russian army's ammunition depot in occupied Crimea Peninsula, describing the military facility as a legitimate target. In a statement published in its official Telegram app on Saturday, the security service said its drones hit Russia's 126th Coastal Defense Brigade near Perevalnoye village in Crimea Peninsula on Friday. The security service continues to effectively work on legitimate military targets in the territory of Crimea captured by Russians. Work on weakening the enemy's military capabilities will continue, the agency's statement reads. According to local Telegram channels, there were reports of dead soldiers who were on duty at the warehouse during the attack. Located near a key highway between Simferopol and Alushta, the ammunition depot was used for storing military equipment, weapons, and fuel and lubricants, the security service said. Local residents reported strong blasts, fire and thick smoke over the territory of the military unit. The strike prompted local authorities to block the traffic on the Simferopol-Alushta highway, which passes by the village of Perevalnoye. Moscow has not yet commented on the strike on its ammunition depot. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskiy on April 7 announced that Kiev was increasing production of the full range of drones, from Mavics to long-range drones.
Да ну нахуй. Всё, пизда, бля, пацанчики. Атака на бригаду.
Ukraine's Special Operations Forces have struck a Russian Ka-52 helicopter with the use of an FPV drone in Russia's border Kursk region. The SOF shared the footage of the moment of the strike in their Telegram channel on Friday. The video shows the drone loaded with munitions strike the helicopter, causing explosion. The operation to destroy the all-weather attack helicopter was carried out by operators of Ballista unit under the Special Operations Forces. The General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces reported the downing of a Russian helicopter in its briefing yesterday. It's presumed the downed helicopter was Ka-52 mentioned by the SOF today. The commander of the crew is believed to be Captain Igorov, whose obituary was published yesterday. Ukrainian troops have scaled up attacks on Russian military targets with the use of drones and missiles in Ukraine and in Russian territory. Norway will complete the delivery of promised F-16 aircraft to Ukraine by 2025, the country's defense minister Tore Sandvik said, NRK reports. He recalled that Norway had already handed over some of the aircraft to Ukraine. Other aircraft are being provided to Ukraine according to plan. However, due to concerns about Ukraine's operational security, the exact number of aircraft is not being announced. He also noted that last year the country's government increased support for the Ukrainian Air Force by 1.3 billion Norwegian kroner. With this grant, Norway is contributing to improving Ukraine's air defense in cooperation with other members of the Air Defense Coalition, Sandvik said. Recall, Norway is providing military assistance to Ukraine and has joined the Air Force coalition. Ukraine received its first F-16 fighter jets from its partners in the summer of last year. Initially, this was reported by Western media, and a few days later, the information was confirmed by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskiy. In October of last year, Ukrainian Defense Minister Rustem Umerov announced that Norway would soon deliver 6 F-16s to Ukraine. However, the exact number of fighter jets already provided to Ukrainian defenders remains unknown. It was reported, though, that the jets have already taken part in defending Ukrainian airspace during massive Russian attacks. Additionally, on March 19 of this year, President Volodymyr Zelenskiy stated that a new batch of F-16 fighter jets had arrived in Ukraine. At the beginning of April, NATO Supreme Allied Commander Europe General Christopher Cavalier said that additional F-16s were being prepared for transfer to Ukraine, although he did not specify which country was planning to make the delivery.
The Kremlin is forced to reach agreements with Ukraine and America since it cannot afford to continue the war of attrition. Russian angry patriot, ZWAR correspondent Maxim Kalashnikov wrote about this in his blog. The top person, Vladimir Putin, agreed to continue negotiations in Istanbul. Zelensky said that he was going there. All sorts of nonsense started here, that we outplayed them. We seized the initiative, but in the end it turned out that they seized the initiative anyway. I come to one conclusion: why Putin is going to negotiations, because the economy is starting to get tight. They understand that they cannot turn the tide of military action and they cannot continue indefinitely. The economy is in an extremely bad state. It may begin to collapse in the fall. And if your economy collapses, you cannot wage war. And no North Koreans will help. They need to be paid, or rather, their leadership needs to be paid. Kalashnikov said he is sure that Putin will not dare to go for a new mobilization as he fears unrest within the country. And the losses of Russian army are too great to continue aggression any longer. Ukraine, according to the Z Patriot, is very successfully repelling Russian attacks as it is one step ahead in the drone issue. Earlier, another Z patriot, Pavel Gubarev, declared Putin's weakness. He unexpectedly spoke out against the Putin regime and personally against the dictator Vladimir Putin. The Z community is clearly growing angry at Putin, who failed to win the war against Ukraine. And Gubarev's criticism is clear evidence of that. Z patriot sharply criticized the regime. In Putinism, fear is the main emotion on which the entire system of society is built. Fear permeates the entire system. Elements of the system are afraid of each other. Bureaucrats of the security forces of bureaucrats, judges of both. The institutions of civil society have been destroyed. Citizens of the Russian Federation have no legal means of demonstrating their political position, Gubarev explained. He also expressed the opinion that he doubted the power of the Russian dictator, Vladimir Putin. According to the Z Patriot, he is an ordinary person controlled by the Kremlin towers. Putin as a person, character, will, etc., plays an insignificant role in Putinism. The proof of this is all the contradictions and laxity in the implementation of policy within the Russian Federation and in the international arena. We, like tumbleweeds, roll across the field, and in order to roll uphill, a stronger wind is needed. Putin is an ordinary person who is played by the elite groups surrounding him, Gubarev said.